Tasker, it's not that long ago that the grandstand was 25,000 people. You got introduced to the fans and for the A main. Do you remember much about that? Because my gosh, there was a lot of fans behind you that night.
There was a lot more woos than I was expecting. So for a little nobody, it was pretty awesome.
What changed? What do you think? Was it just that people thought, hey, here's a kid from Iowa, this farm boy that's in the biggest race in the world? Like, what do you think was that moment where it changed?
Well, it was probably got lucky or whatnot, did our job getting quick time, and then had a decent heat, and then the swapping the sliders back and forth with Larson. That's probably what changed people. But we've been around forever and started out being kind of hard on equipment, fast but hard on equipment. Then I kind of slowed down and was getting the handle of things. Now we're kind of getting the speed back around and not tearing as much up. So I think people are realizing we're getting a little more competitive than what, or maybe this year showed we're a little more competitive than what people really thought. And I've been working on my guys and sponsors and whatnot that we need to get more serious sooner, because we all got jobs and things going on, so we don't hit as much races as we need to. But usually about nationals, we're finally getting enough racing, and that's why I tell everybody that, Sawyer and I grew up wrestling, football, track, baseball, all of them. We were always busy and working on the farm, so conditioning wasn't a problem, but we would be wore the heck out jumping in these cars for 10 laps, 20 laps, and it's a mentality. It's not being used to it, because usually about nationals, we've had enough races in a row, especially speed weeks. Speed weeks, I start usually kind of coming around and starting to shine. Well, I've been in the car eight out of the last 10 nights, so you jump in there, it's second nature. It doesn't catch me by surprise. It doesn't wear me out. I'm relaxed, and so we got to get doing that sooner in the year and get a better whole year instead of just a good nationals out of the deal.
So you and your brothers were very competitive with wrestling, with like football, with all those physical sports. When you had an opponent, you're all flesh and blood. There was no big motor to worry about. There was no fresh tires to worry. It was all physical. How do you go though when you park next to Casey Kane Racing in the pits? Like, what changes there?
I'm not a big head games guy. It's just another day, another dollar. Wrestling, I used to sleep until there was a 3-time state champion or 2-time state champion. His last loss was to me, and I about missed the match. I was sleeping right next to the match. They had to wake me up to go. That's just how I relax. But I don't know. You just get all worked up and psyched out. It's easy to psych yourself out, and I hate the cubic dollars comment. And if you're doing your job, and this nationals proved it. I got a secondhand motor, secondhand complete roller, a bunch of guys that got day jobs and not focused on. If we have a good weekend, it's good, yay, hurrah! But it doesn't impact their lives whatsoever. And we went out and set quick time at Knoxville Nationals against the highest budgets out there. So I hate the comparing dollars and operations. It's get there, do your job, and if you're doing it right, it'll show. And if not, then yes, it won't.
6 of you guys, 3 boys, 3 girls, 3 exceptionally intelligent girls, 3 hardworking boys. Not to say you guys aren't intelligent, but your careers are vastly different to those of your sisters. Explain your sisters to me.
Probably the craziest one is a mother of 7 and a general surgeon, and she's the oldest. And then the second one's the local physician's assistant and married a farmer, so she's still got best of both worlds. And then the third's a lawyer and just became some sort of judge in Des Moines. And then the 3 of us got. Well, we're all busy bees, but the 3 of us boys, I guess, couldn't focus enough in school. Had to keep moving, so we just went back and helped mom and dad and raising corn and beans. And we keep jumping into different things. We do our own fertilizer. We do the 2 brothers and I split a tiling machine for ag tile, and love killing trees, and just basically we can't stand to stay still.
So you're just little boys still.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
The Dixie Chicks. You three boys are married to the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to tell you which one I think is which, but those three gals, they all bring something to the table that's different in a lot of ways, but they just blend in. How, I don't know, but it's a big family, yours, and those three gals just jump right in there.
Well, that's you. I think you think Allie's like a 3 on the craziness scale. Well, you got to get with her after she's had a couple drinks. You just got to get in a closed setting. She's the party. She's the rowdy one.
She's the quiet one, mate.
No,
her and Kennedy, mate. They're the quiet.
She's definitely not quiet. And I don't know why you think that.
Oh, well, I'm thinking that Katie might be, the slightly rambunctious.
She definitely comes on a lot quicker, but she and Allie could duke it out when they're feeling it. But Katie definitely comes on faster, and Allie, I think Allie's kind of like me. She's got to figure out who you are, how you like things, and how far she can push it. And then she's wide open after that.
So all three of you boys, and of course your sisters as well, but all three of you boys have kids now. Things are slightly different. How different is that mentality for you? What's it like being a dad?
Awesome. Everybody likes to say, you reap what you sowed on me growing up and being wild. I love it. I'm kind of the free spirit guy, and you gotta tone him down a little bit, but he's so freaking smart and finds all the loopholes. And but so far, just one right now, and it's going good because he absolutely loves everything I do, and Mom lets him do anything with me and trusts that it'll be all right, and the whole family kind of keeps an eye out for him, and he's definitely taken a liking to racing, which is unfortunate in my future. But I got lucky with the first one. He's full of energy, but full of love, and he's super sweet and has good manners. And he's just like his mom. He cranks her up a little too quick sometimes and gets a little too rowdy with kids that aren't used to playing rough and whatnot. And he's definitely not mean, but he'll be tough. But it was definitely changing my way of thinking here before nationals. We're always this close, but it just seems like we're always this close and never get any farther. So it was kind of starting to, how much time do I need to keep focusing on this racing? And, when he starts sports, how's that going to work out? But luckily we had the really good nationals, so that fire's lit back up, and I don't think Allie's going to give me too much trouble. And like I said, he loves every bit of it, so that'll make things a lot easier.
It seemed like you were kind of enjoying being under the radar. Like, just do my thing, race around a bit. Then suddenly you set quick time. Suddenly you race with Larson. Suddenly you're in the show. Suddenly everybody wants a piece of Luke Bryan, Iowan. You want to be playing golf with your buddies or, just being on the tractor. And suddenly you had to compromise a bit of that. Was that uncomfortable for you, or was it kind of a trip?
No, it definitely wasn't uncomfortable. And I mean, in all reality, that's what we're all striving for, because that means you're successful, you're catching the sponsors and all that to keep doing what we love. And no, it was definitely a blast. It was far more exhausting than we suck and got to rebuild the car and let's go get hammered in turns 3 and 4 and have fun. I don't think I hardly drank the whole week, which is I'm getting old enough now. That's completely fine by me, but
Allie can do that for you.
It was just surprising how much more exhausting it was. I call it peopling, and no, it was a blast, and definitely look forward to doing more of it. But probably the best part was, I mean, I know people pay attention and watch over the years, and you get a good job, or hey, keep going every now and again. But just people you didn't think knew who you were, or just didn't even know what racing was, were coming out and saying like that was so freaking awesome, and go local Iowa, and small town dude, and just farmers, people at small stores, just they all loved it and had a blast. And that was the best part, was seeing how much joy it brought everybody else that I didn't even think had anything to do with racing. But it was going up there for the A main walkout, and you got Paul McMahon, who's retiring, is basically center of attention right now, saying like, dude, this was probably one of the greatest stories I've been around for a while, and it was just an amazing, humbling experience. And like I said, I'm definitely not wanting to do it anymore, so I'll get used to it.